Hey guys, what's up? Lewin here at GarageBand and Beyond. I'm back. I'm sorry, it's been a couple of months since I made videos. I've been super swamped mixing and mastering albums and EPs and singles for people. So I do apologize, but I'm back. I got some time. If you want me to mix or master something, check out my website, GarageBandandBeyond.com. The other thing I wanted to ask here at the top is I definitely want to start making more videos by request. So if you have any questions that you want answered, please leave them in the comment section below here or over on the Facebook page for GarageBand and Beyond. Now, today I'm going to be answering a question that I get all the time about mastering, which is, do I need to export my song before I then drag it back in and master it? Okay, so I can give you a short answer right out of the gate. No, you don't always have to do that. If you are making one song at a time and then just sticking it online, if you're like a person who just releases singles all the time and there's no intention for those singles to be on a one main album later in life, you don't have to. You can master it straight out of the master channel on GarageBand or whatever DAW that you want. It's not ideal, but you can definitely do it. And a lot of people do it. Now, on the other end of that, the reason that you do want to sometimes export your songs before you master them is when you are making an album or an EP or something that has, more than one song on it. There are a few reasons that you want to do it, but before you get to that process of exporting them, there's a couple of things that I want to mention. No EQ, no compression in the master channel output before you're doing this first preliminary export. No EQ, no compression, right? Make sure that absolutely nothing is going into the red in your main channel output meters up here. So that's it. So then export them one at a time as each mix is getting finished, and then stick them in a file. And I like to export WAV files now that we can, .wav files, or AIFF, it's totally fine. So then I have a file with all of my unmastered songs in it, and then I drag them all into a brand new GarageBand project file, and that's what you're looking at here. Now, I'm just going to unmute these. So the reason that I do that, well, there's a couple of reasons that I do that. The first one is so that I can visually inspect each song track by track by track by track, okay? So these are all individual songs for one whole album. What I'm looking for when I do this visual inspection is mostly peaks, okay? So I'm looking to make sure that nothing is hitting the edge of the field here, right? And just so you know, when you're looking, here are some actual numbers to look at on the left-hand side of the audio editor. And you can see that basically I try to keep my main exports that are not mastered somewhere between 25 to 50 plus or minus dB. So, and sometimes I do go over. Let's see if we can find one. There's one, here's one, right? But nothing is peaking. Nothing's actually slamming all the way to the edge, okay? So that is one of the main reasons. Then the other reason is that I'm looking for a general sense of consistency between those levels on the export, right? Which you can see happening here as I go down. You'll see the ranges, but you'll see an average, okay? So that's it. Visual inspection is reason number one. Reason number two that you want to do this for an album or EP is so that you can come up with one mastering preset for basically all of them. Now, of course, song by song, they will each need to be tweaked a little bit, the compression, the EQ possibly. But basically, you're not going to end up with, a bunch of inconsistent levels. You're going to work off of one main group of plugins, whatever it is that you like to use. In this case, I'm using the Slate Digital stuff, and I'll show you what I got going on here. The basic EQ, their virtual mix bus. I love the Slate Digital stuff, you guys. It's totally worth it. The monthly thing is so worth it. They come out with like 10 new plugins a year, and you get them, included in that deal. But anyway, so the virtual mix bus in EQ, I'm using the tape emulator at half-inch 2-track. I usually turn off the noise settings and stuff. I have this one. This is the VBC FG Gray compressor. And then I'm also using the Slate Digital FGX mastering plugin. So this is just what I'm using. But the whole point of what I'm trying to tell you is that every single one of these songs ran off of these 4 or 5 plugins, with minor tweaks in between each song, just enough tweaking so that when I got that final master output, there was consistency amongst all of them. So I hope that that makes sense. Those are the 2 main reasons. Visual inspection, just so you can make sure you're within all the tolerances that you need to be. And then also that you end up with consistency on the final end of this process, right? So that all the levels are equal across the board. But again, if you're doing one song at a time, yeah, totally. Just master it and spit it out, get it on iTunes or wherever it is that you want to sell your music or do whatever it is that you want to do with it. But yeah, that's totally fine. But you know, I don't mind exporting it first sometimes, but in general, you don't have to for one-offs. I think that's about it. And it's weird to be back in my video making seat here with my microphone set up. It has been a little while, and I do apologize. So anyway, you guys, please hit that little bell. Hitting subscribe is not good enough anymore. If you want to get notifications about when my new videos come out, you got to hit the little bell next to that subscribe button. And of course, I got a Facebook page, and of course, there's a Patreon page, and I appreciate all the support. And I'm back, guys. Leave video requests below and on the Facebook page, and blah, blah, blah. Love you guys. Peace.